Rocket Mortgage has officially closed the transaction with Redfin, and it is already changing the real estate landscape. We're going to have a conversation with Matt, the mortgage guy, talk about what Redfin is doing, propose what they might be doing in the future, and see how it will change the industry. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, Mike. Interesting times in real estate. So excited to talk about, some of the latest and greatest, mergers and acquisitions, which, didn't happen recently, but I guess it's official as of late.
Yep. As of July 1st, and Redfin and Rocket have already announced their first thing. I just saw it this morning. Rocket Mortgage says that if you use both Rocket Mortgage and Redfin for your housing transaction, they will kick in either a 1 year, 1% buy down or give you $6,000 in credits. This is just the start. I truly see and saw Rocket Mortgage doing things like this, incentivizing you to come use Redfin, can you come use their mortgage provider, and just wait until they get the servicer closed in the next 30 to 45 days. That's when things are going to get spicy. What do you think of all this? What do you think UWM and other mortgage providers might do to combat this agreement?
Right. Yeah. And I'm going to give my honest advice. I said in the past, and I still, not a big fan of Rocket Mortgage. Without going into too much detail, for a long, long time, Rocket Mortgage, who has retail branches and also has a wholesale division, as a wholesale broker, when we brokered loans to Rocket, they would then go poach our clients and refinance them, call them with offers. And it pissed off a lot of brokers. A lot of brokers, swore never to go back. The truth of the matter is, I know tons of brokers who are working with Rocket again, saying it's different. They've turned a new leaf. They're not chasing down your clients. But whatever you feel about Rocket, my honest thing is they're a behemoth. And so they're going to have advantages that come from having scale. Whether I like them or whether anybody else likes them, they're going to have scale advantages. And Redfin is a company that I've always loved the app. I've used the app because it's easy to use. It's clean and neat as far as like searching for homes.
Sure.
And I've had great transactions with Redfin agents. I've had some not so great. So I won't really, say one way or another Redfin agents are the worst or the best. But what I do know is Rocket is such a great marketer. You come up with something like this, and I talked to somebody recently because there was another company that said, we're offering you a free 1 year buy down. It is akin to most of these other offers where it's like, if I charge you a little bit extra for 6.99 and then I give you a free 1 year buy down to 5.99, am I really giving it to you for free?
No, that's the craziness. And the mortgage business is really an oddity when you look back, because again, there's lots of levers and knobs where you can essentially hide the give back, right? I mean, to say it very simply, right? If you worked in a retail establishment and you had a sweater that was $50, and then for whatever reason you rose it to 100, but then gave them 50% off, a lot of novice, non-following retail, they'll oh my God, it's 50% off, I'll buy it. No, jackass, it's the same price it was on Tuesday.
Right. I swear to God, I use the Kohl's one because they continue to do it. It should tell people, and me and Mike are smart. It works.
It works. Exactly.
They wouldn't be doing it. They're doing it because you guys fall for that shit.
Yeah.
And so, be aware that, somebody who markets and says, they got the greatest program in the world and they got discounted rates and fees for school teachers. It's a conventional loan with 10% down, and their underwriting fee went from $15.95 to $9.95, whatever the case may be. But there's going to be a lot of that stuff, and a lot of the conversation around Rocket doing acquisitions, their biggest competitor UWM, who's still the number one lender in the country. Generally speaking, competition is going to be great for consumers. Consumers are going to go out there.
It's really funny you bring that up, because again, I've studied economics for a long time, capitalism, and you're absolutely right. Competition's good, net for the consumer. But my fear, this is just a fear, is a lot of people don't buy a lot of homes, right? They kind of buy one and then don't for the next decade or longer. And I think what happened, because if just thinking about it as an executive at Rocket, they did it right. They bought the front end. They bought the front door, Redfin. And all they have to do is work to capture a larger percent of Redfin listings, and they will grow. I don't know what Rocket was getting historically, but let's just guess it was 30%. Right. And then, UWM and everybody else got it because, again, they didn't care. Redfin didn't care who got the loan. Now they care.
Right.
So just think about how sticky and how many times you're going to get slammed with a Rocket logo in your face as you're looking at Redfin. It's about to go bonkers. And again, I think they've done that. And then if you slap in Mr. Cooper, who's the servicer, they are going to have a money printing machine. All you have to do is take all of that servicing data and go, hey, I can save you money. And can you imagine the tailored postcards? Hey, Mr. Smith, you bought 123 Main Street on this date, got this loan. Want to save $712? Here you go. Right. And then, just give you another example. So I have this amazing school community, one rental at a time. And somebody posted in there 2 days ago and said, Rocket Mortgage says they can save me money. And I'm like, okay, what can they do? They said they can save me, I think it was $280. The cost, $9,000. $9,000. That's like 45-month payback. I'm like, you're crazy to consider that. So again, Rocket's just going to be this. They get that Mr. Cooper, man. They're going to just be printing money.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I don't think it's been a secret. They've been wanting to do this for a long time. When you talk about the front end and Redfin and getting, buyers who are, buying real estate to come use Rocket Mortgage, they tried with Keller Williams. They even went as far as getting Keller Williams agents licensed so that it was legal for them to get paid to refer a mortgage transaction. The crazy part is it didn't work. And what I would tell a consumer to be careful of is just because a company can do all the things doesn't mean they're good at all the things. And so it
doesn't even mean it's the best value. That's the thing that gets me is they're going to be able to market and say some sexy things. But just like the example I just gave you, does a 45-month payback really make sense for anyone? Not very many people.
Right. And is a $50 sweater, a good of a deal as a $100 sweater that's 50% off? And that's $50?
It's the same shit. Exactly.
Just because of how they package it.
You know what's even crazier? Maybe the $50 sweater went to 100 and then 40% off. So now you're paying an extra $10.
Well, that's an example that I can pull plenty of where, people assume, oh, the builders give me a 10K incentive. The builders give me a 5K incentive. That's not always the best deal, because if they're $12,000 more expensive and they offer you a $10,000 incentive, which I've seen. Oh, sure. Sometimes their preferred lender is like a US bank or something. And for certain loan types, like an FHA loan, maybe they are way the heck off. And so even with the incentive, they're worse. And so, it still makes sense for borrowers to do their due diligence, work with somebody they like and trust. The crazy part is, Mike, is like the more competitive this gets and the more, fancy marketing stuff that I see, the more impossible it makes it for a consumer to truly understand it. And that's where I've got
that's the thing that gets me about all this is Rocket Mortgage, in my opinion, is going to lean into automation. It's going to lean into AI, and it's going to remove the human component. One of the reasons we still talk after 5 years together is because you're willing to look at a unique situation and have a conversation and ask questions. If you're just looking at a quote unquote file with a bunch of 12 statistics, you won't really know unless you ask human being questions, right? Does the loan application say the wife is pregnant? No, there's no checkbox for that, right? She has twins coming. Oh my goodness, there's no checkbox. There's just the Rocket is, again, in my opinion, going to lean into automation, soup to nuts, front door to back door, plus the underlying servicing. But I think they're going to lose the human touch. That's what I see. And again, they won't care.
Yeah, right. And so I think, there's multiple ways this could go. If you're looking at it and you're just like, I'm an investor in Rocket. Is their stock going to go up? Are they going to, profit from this? There's an example in our industry, Better.com.
Mm,
They absolutely floundered when it came to purchase transactions, purchase deals. Automation tech, the best that anyone had ever seen in our industry. Refinance, especially someone's an engineer and they're W-2, $700,000 a year, there's nothing that can go wrong. Refinance you 2.625, 30-year
done.
fixed, no cost, get it done in 25 days. But Vishal, who was a CEO, for Better, who got a lot of publicity for his layoffs on Zoom.
I remember.
There was conversations with not just our company, but other companies. How do I do this in the purchase side of the business? And the answer is, like you said, human beings talking and relationships, which they didn't have, right? Automation will never replace that. And so, there's just going to be certain parts of the transaction. And to your point, people don't do a lot of these transactions. So they really want an advisor. They want to have their hand held. And so
that's the rub. You logically think that, and I logically think that, but I think about the first time home buyer, the person who buys a home a decade. If you're Rocket and you have all this sexy marketing and talk about saving $10,000 and this, that, and the other, and you're getting these mailer and postcards talking about saving money, I don't think their hit rate has to be very high to be extremely profitable, right? Doing this automation. Because again, I think a lot of people are going to lean in and go, ooh, save 10 grand, back to the $40 savings on a sweater. And they're not going to even ask. They won't even ask themselves, is the right move, right? I'm going to save $280. Who cares that I don't get paid back till 2030?
You said something, Mike, and I agree with this. And I've talked to the consumer long enough to really truly believe this when I say this. The consumer just wants to feel like they got a good deal. If it's a good deal or not, it doesn't matter. That's what like you said, it doesn't really matter. Does this make sense? Is it a good deal? Who cares? As long as I can sleep good at night. Oh, they saved me $8,500. Show me, because the wild part is it's no knock on the consumer. Mortgage documents are extremely complicated. They tried to make them simpler, and they quite honestly made them harder. If I took 3 different quotes from 3 different lenders and I sat down in front of them as a human being, it's still hard to get them to understand. So if you take me out and you're just going to do that with, automation and AI and tech, maybe AI gets to a place where the consumer can say, I just uploaded 3 of these quotes. Can you tell me, the pros and cons? What's funny and going down that road with AI, UWM, one of their latest AI developments is upload a loan estimate from anybody, from any company, and the AI will tell you, yeah, it looks like this one's got a lower rate by 1/8. But did you notice that the mortgage insurance was $27 more expensive? Did you notice the underwriting fee was $1,000 more? If you take that into account, the effective, rate or APR is this. And so, there's going to be some fancy, technology that's going to help. But I still think you want a human being walking you through some of the tech, especially, I think, generations that aren't super comfortable relying on getting an answer from a computer.
Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, I congratulate Rocket. They definitely open their checkbook because they're trying to buy soup to nuts, front door to back door, plus servicing. Good for them. They have a plan. I don't know if it'll turn out better for the consumer. I know they're going to position it as better for the consumer. We'll see what actually happens. Matt, if somebody want to reach out to you, have these conversations, really get deep into their situation, what do they do?
Go to greatmortgagebroker.com. Fill out the quick form. We'll be in touch. I love the ORAT community. I'm trying to pop into school and see what I can do to answer questions in there. I know I'm talking to people from the ORAT community just about every day, whether it's investment or a primary across the country. There's multiple different ways to structure a mortgage. That's something that as a consumer you need to know. And so don't get fooled by, I saw something somewhere, that must be the best way to do it. Your specific scenario has different solutions, and your goals, are going to dictate how you want to structure a mortgage. As of now, the human being in the room, still matters. Having an advisor still matters. So if you want to talk with us, greatmortgagebroker.com.
Thank you, buddy. Take care. Good luck at the World Series of Poker, by the way.
Thank you. I'm gonna go win it all.
There you go.